so it's not really like there's too much at stake here. But you always want to win and say, yeah, I went 3-0 in my draft. It was awesome. I have to tell you guys about a draft that I did since this one, because it was a while ago. So I've had one since then, and it was really fun. And I have to tell you about it later. But I'll make another video about that. Or maybe if this video gets too long and boring, because as you guys can see, 18.5 minutes. I'm gonna be with you for the next significant amount of time, I guess. But anyway, my opponent leads off with a Dagger Drum Imp, and I play a Selesnya Keyrune. And I know that there's definitely somebody out there who's saying, how the hell did this guy make it to the finals with a Dagger Drum Imp? He plays a Mind Rot on turn 3. By the way, he did mold a 6, so even though he is off one of his colors, he's not like a bad player or anything. He just had to mulligan. But anyway, somebody's gonna be like, Dagger Drum Imp sucks, whatever. But that's what I thought when I first saw the set. I'm like, Dagger Drum Imp, I'm not going to be playing that card. That card is just terrible. But, I mean, it really does work sometimes. If they don't have any Concordia Pegasuses or anything, or Giant Spiders to block it, then it's just going to get in for basically the equivalent of 2, because it gets in for 1 and you gain 1. So it's not really the equivalent of 2, but it sort of is. I mean, it really isn't, but anyway. It does some work on its own, but it gets playable when you are playing the deep scavenge deck, and pretty much every card in your deck has the keyword scavenge on it, and that's pretty much what my opponent's doing. He's just got a ton of scavenge, and you'll start seeing that in the later game because he eventually does get to that point where he can find his green mana, and then he can start rolling. But luckily for me, I mean, unfortunately for me, I didn't really have an aggressive start. He didn't really have much pressure at the beginning. He just played 3 Swamps and a Dagger Drum Imp and like a Mind Rot. So if I had been able to play like a Call, a Conclave, and a Centaur Healer, then I would have been fine. But he does draw his green mana here, so he wasn't off green mana for too long. And I'm also stuck on 4 lands, but I do have a Keyrune, so that's good. Either way, oops, sorry about that. I'm gonna just mute my computer real quick. Oh no, okay. I'm just gonna mute my computer real quick. And yeah, that should be good. Okay. Yeah, I hate it when that happens, when I'm listening to videos and then all of a sudden the Facebook noise comes up and I'm like, oh, I got a Facebook message, somebody actually likes me. And then like I go ahead and look at my messages, and it was not me, it was just the person in the video. So sorry about that. But anyway, I swing in for 6 here. I got my Tristani, I got my Knightly Valor on. Knightly Valor is so good with Tristani because for multiple reasons. First of all, Tristani becomes a 4/7 Vigilance attacker. Pretty hard to defend against that unless you've got like an Armory Guard or something like that. You're just going to be sad. And second of all, it makes a token that you can populate. And then the last thing is Vigilance on Tristani is sweet because you can attack and then later on populate. So that's basically what my game plan is here. I got 4 lands plus a Keyrune, so I could have attacked, but then I would not have been able to with my Keyrune, but then I wouldn't have been able to populate. And that's basically what I want to do. At this point in the game, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to win because I got my Tristani. It's a 4/7. I got a Knight. I can just start populating it. So I figure I don't really have to play the cards out of my hand in case he's got some, like, I mean, I don't think he has any board sweepers. I'm not sure. I don't think there's anything in his colors that wipe the board. But I just didn't want to give up too much information, and I don't know. It was definitely a bad move because, as you guys can tell from the game, this is not like a 5-minute game where I just run over my opponent and he dies. But so yeah, I think I had a Wayfaring Temple in my hand at this point, which I probably should have played, and it would have just really, really benefited me to do that instead of just making a Knight. I think I also had a Phantom General in hand, although I guess it does make more sense to play this than that. But anyway, he plays a Trestle Troll and a Drudge Beetle. So at the end of my last turn, he played a Grizzly Salvage, and I was wondering what he was doing. Like, he finally got his 4th green land, and then he was just like, okay, now he's probably going to have a really relevant play, but then he didn't do anything. So that was confusing. So I do get the Knight and I gain the life, and man, this game I had to change the life more than any other game. I don't know exactly how many times I had to do it, but it was upwards of 20 or 30. So it was definitely way more than any other game. So I'm going to start off here by playing a Phantom General, and an interesting thing happens here, because so I swing in for a bunch, and he's just going to probably block with his Trestle Troll. He's going to block one of the 3/3s. And then he's going to take the rest, so he's going to take 7 going down to 8. And I've got a Golgari decoy in hand, so I'm pretty sure that the game is over. All I have to do is just play it next turn, and then the turn after that attack, and no matter what he does, unless he manages to kill the decoy, he's dead. So I'm pretty happy. And then this turn, just randomly, the card that he decides is the most important to play this turn is his own Golgari decoy. So I just don't even know why that was the idea in his mind. That was the best card to play. I don't know what it really did for him, but it's just completely detrimental to me. And because if you didn't catch where this was going, if you play your Golgari decoy and then they do, then the Golgari decoy basically just becomes legend ruled, and they just kill each other. So as long as you deal the damage that way, but. Yeah, so that was really stupid. Not only should I not... basically my hand earlier was like Phantom General, Golgari Decoy, and Wayfaring Temple, so I'm like, there's no way I can lose this one, right? So he's going to play a Drudge Beetle, and then he's going to attack... Or, no, he's going to play his Golgari Decoy. So yeah, and then he attacked me for 1, obviously, and I'm like, oh man, whatever. But I didn't even think about the Golgari Decoy versus Golgari Decoy interaction, so I'm just like, whatever, okay, I actually need to start doing stuff because he might actually start winning this game if I don't do anything. But earlier on, I think I ended up tapping 3 forests and a plains for my Tristani, which is not correct. I'm sorry if I did that, but I did have the key rune anyway, so I could have paid for it. I just didn't do it correctly. But I don't remember if that was the case. I just keep forgetting if that ended up happening. But I don't even want to attack with my Tristani because then he can just quad block it and kill it. So I just swing in with those 2 things. He blocks 1 and then he trades one of the Drudge Beetles for the other one. So really wasn't an optimal attack, and I probably shouldn't have even done it. But I'm just like, okay, just gotta play this Golgari Decoy and the next time I can win. And then he does the obvious play, which is just attack into it, and like I didn't even see that, and I was like, oh yeah, that's bad. So I take 1 from the Daggerdrome Imp, and now he's still got 6 mana to work with, and I do have a 22 life advantage, but he's getting into the late game, and he's got some scavenge cards in the graveyard, and then he drops a Corpse Jack Menace. If 1 or more counter will be placed onto a creature, place twice that many instead. So I'm pretty sure that you guys have some sort of idea of what's about to come. But he's got all these scavenge in the graveyard. One of the Drudge Beetles, a Golgari Decoy. I think he dumped something in there with his Grizzly Salvage. So he's got all these scavenge cards in his graveyard, and he's got a Corpse Jack Menace, and he's got a Daggerdrome Imp. So he is really just living the dream right here. He can do whatever he wants, and that's really bad for me. But I'm going to play a Seller of Songbirds, so that's just basically another way where I'm going to try to start pushing through damage. If I can start doing it in the air, as opposed to on the ground, then I might be in some good shape. So now, I mean, finally I have an answer to his Daggerdrome Imp, just as it becomes irrelevant. But, yeah, either way, this is just not really going the way I had thought it would go, and it's not really going the way I had wanted it to go. But I think last turn I could have attacked with my Tristani, but yeah, I don't really know why I didn't do that. I think that was just a bad play. I should have swung in with it. And obviously not the Knight, because... wait, no, okay, he did have 7 power, but I guess trading it for the Corpse Jack Menace would have been fine. Though if you didn't notice, earlier on in the game, I it's really hard to see, but to his Mind Rot, I discarded Giant Growth and Savage Surge. Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should have discarded something else so that I would still have a combat trick. But basically, I don't have a combat trick, so I can't make these more bold attacks, I suppose. But anyway, I made a bird, and these birds are 2/2 birds, so they don't die to the Trestle Troll, which is good. And I can start attacking, but he is gaining a lot of life. So now he's back up to 15, and I'm down to 23. Obviously not the ideal situation I want to be in against his deck, where, in other words, like, I want him to be dead at this point. He really should have been dead if I had played it smarter at the beginning, if I had played my Wayfaring Temple instead of just making a Knight or something like that. Or maybe played my Phantom General. Or I don't really know what I should have done, but I know that I did not do what I should have done. I'm still only on 2 white sources. It's really lucky that that key rune is alive, but right here I'm just going to swing in with my 2 birds, and I really should be attacking with Tristani because I'm fine with the Corpse Jack Menace for Tristani trade, but I don't know, maybe I'm not. Maybe I do need some more bird tokens before I think that I can actually win this game. But then I'm just going to tap 3 and play a Wayfaring Temple, I believe. I could be wrong. Yes, no, maybe. Oh, I was just gaining the life from some other reason. Oh, okay, so here's what I do wrong. I play my Wayfaring Temple, and then I forget that I'm going to gain extra life. So instead of just letting it resolve, I hold priority, and then I populate in response. So I should have just populated before I did it. But it didn't matter, because I did end up gaining like 8 life from casting that thing, because it's gigantic, so... Now I've got a super big Wayfaring Temple, even bigger than his Dagger Drum Imp. I've got 3 birds, and I have the option to be able to make birds every turn, so potentially chump block his Dagger Drum Imp forever. Unfortunately, I have no way to, like, if I had a Goblin Ooze, then that would be sweet, because then I could just block and sacrifice so that he wouldn't even gain the life, and then I would be able to win pretty quickly from there, I think. But now he's finally, I mean, he's not finally slowing down. He's still got a whole bunch of scavenge in the graveyard, which is really unfortunate, but I'm not sure what he's going to do here. But either way, I mean, just focusing on the current board state, it's pretty close, considering he's got all these scavenge in the graveyard and the Dagger Drum Imp plus the Corpse Jack Menace. That puts him at a huge advantage, but I still do have 2 different tokens that I can populate depending on what I need, and a Tristani, which gains me life all the time. But I mean, it's hard to beat a 9/9 lifelink. So if you were to say which one of us had better board position at the moment, I think it would probably be me, because I still have the Wayfaring Temple as well, which he just has to block. But I mean, he does have the Trestle Troll, which can block that pretty easily, and a Drudge Beetle, which he doesn't mind going to the graveyard because he can just scavenge it. So that's fine. I still have a couple of cards in hand. He still has a couple of cards in hand. We've been spending our mana pretty much every turn, other than I think 1 turn, which he had to pass with 3 black mana. Or maybe he didn't even. Maybe he just mind rotted me that turn. I don't remember. But anyway, I play a Knightly Valor on my Wayfaring Temple, and not 100% sure if that was the play. Maybe I should have tried to spread it out, put it on like the well, Stellar Songbirds doesn't make any sense because he just blocks with the Corpse Jack Menace. But now I'm just going to start flying in there and attacking with my Wayfaring Temple, and still not willing to give up that Tristani. Again, if I had just had the Giant Growth or the Savage Surge from earlier in the game, then I would be in a lot better shape. If he had played like a Sewer Shambler instead of a Mind Rot, then that would have been a lot better for me. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. So I'm counting how big the Wayfaring Temple is, and basically how much of a hit he wants to take. So I think I could have threatened lethal here if I had attacked with everything. If I had attacked with the 2/3/3s, the gigantic Wayfaring Temple, the Tristani, and then the 3 2/2 birds, then maybe that would have done something. But as it was, all he wanted to do was throw the Drudge Beetle at the Wayfaring Temple. And well, actually, let's go ahead and calculate that. I've got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 with potential to make 10 creatures. So with my Wayfaring Temple, if he lets it through, then he was at what? He was at 20, and he has to take the well, he doesn't have to take the flyers because he has a Trestle Troll. But like, let's say he only blocked that, and I swung in with everything except for the Phantom General because I can't lose that. Then I don't even think he could have. Yeah, he definitely couldn't have both chumped the Wayfaring Temple and blocked enough to kill my Tristani. So that was a really bad play on my part. I should have thought about my attacks a little bit longer, and then I could have swung in with everyone. He would have had to chump the Wayfaring Temple, and he wouldn't have been able to block my Tristani profitably, and then I would have been able to get in for a lot more damage, because he would have, well, I guess he would have eaten a knight, chumped the Wayfaring Temple, and then still taken 4, 10, 13... Yeah, he would have. Well, no, he would have blocked it with the 3. So yeah, 4, 10. He would have taken 11 damage, I suppose, and I would have lost the knight. Maybe that wasn't worth it then. 11 damage and lost the knight, as opposed to just deal 6 damage. Yeah, probably not worth it, because I want to keep all my resources available. That way, I can eventually, or like keep gaining card advantage with my life advantage with my Tristani. I mean, I've got so many things on the board. We ran out of bird tokens, we ran out of knight tokens. I don't even know what's going on anymore. But I mean, we're at the point in the game where I don't know, anything is really happening, and we don't really know. We're not able to focus well enough to accurately assess the board perfectly, and we're just like, yeah, I'll attack with this and I'll attack with this, and like, I'm trying to figure out whether or not I should be attacking with everyone. And still don't even know if I should have last turn, but this turn I attack with the Wayfaring Temple, the Tristani, and the birds, and the knights. So I do end up attacking with everything except for the Phantom General and the Seller of Songbirds. Don't know why I decided that the Seller of Songbirds should stay back. That seems like the wrong play. But I mean, I guess he's at 23, so we can probably just eat it with the Corpse Jack Menace and be happy. But either way, I think what he's going to do here is just block and regen, or block the Wayfaring Temple that is in regen, and then maybe block something. I don't even know if I'm attacking with the Knights or not. It's hard to tell because they have Vigilance. I guess I'm playing like Vigilance Tribal or something like that. I don't know. But I mean, like half my creatures who are actually attacking are blocked. But it looks like he is currently blocking. Yeah, okay, he's not going to do that. He's going to block that with the Trestle Troll, yeah, and eat a Knight. Okay, so he's still going to take 3, 9, 13, I believe, and yeah, and go down to 8 life. Unless I am doing... No, he took 8, 11, 15. Right, that makes sense. And neither of his creatures died, and I lost a Knight. And I'm at 20, so, and he's at 8. And we are getting towards the end of the game right now. We're not quite there yet, but I'm going to tap 3 the right way, so I actually have one of my planes open, and just play a Selesnya Sentry just to get some more power on the board, because I know that attacking is pretty relevant at this point of the game. And right here, some interesting things happen. So he's going to end up scavenging his Dragmangler, which got there, I think, from a Grizzly salvage, and putting it on the Dagger Dromium. So it becomes a 15-15 lifelink. So remember that 15 damage that I did last turn? Yeah. Well, he's going to gain it back. And then, as long as he attacks here. But the thing is, if he just does that, if he just scavenges, then I actually have 23 power that will get through, even if he blocks in the best way possible. And he'll be at 23 life. So I don't think he did the calculation. He didn't. And then after his attack, I thought for like a really long time. I think 2 minutes or something like that. I don't know. It actually is a long time when you're doing the thinking, as opposed to just saying, yeah, it was only 2 minutes long, whatever. But and all he's got is a green mana, so I know that there's really not much he can do about it. So I could have just made a bird and chump blocked, but rather than doing that, I calculated it, and I figured out exactly what I needed to do. So I was, even on his turn, I was thinking of how I can win this game. So I decided to just take it. He gains 15 life, and then at end step, instead of making a bird, I make a Knight, and then that'll basically ensure the exact amount of damage that I need to do in order to win the game. I just need to activate the key rune and then just beats with everyone. So, man, that was a really, really close game. It was well played by my opponent, and I think that this last attack, I'm just like, everybody gets in there. I don't even feel like tapping all the creatures, figuring out which ones of them do tap, which ones don't. But man, that was just such a close game, and really well played by my opponent. Really, I think I played pretty well. Well, actually, I don't even think I played well. I think that I was just dealt a hand that really allowed me to win no matter what I was doing, and just the fact that it took me so long to win was just a testament to how good his deck was and how bad I played, rather than how well I played and how good his deck was. But either way, that was really close game, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. And have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.